Hello, my beautiful Christian widow sisters. Welcome to Hope Speaker. And this week I have a lot of encouragement coming your way because we are talking about the 2 steps to move forward in your grief, healing, and recovery. And there's a lot of value coming your way. But let's just start at the beginning. Have you ever felt like grief is a storm that is unending, that you are being tossed in a hurricane of waves? You have no control. You don't know where you're going. You don't know how to navigate out, or even if there is an end in sight. Maybe it feels like a maze that you are wandering in, dead end after dead end. You can't seem to find your way forward. You don't even know where you are, and you don't know if there's a way out. Maybe it's like a thick fog, and you are wandering, having a hard time finding your way or a path of any kind. I know what that feels like. I lost my late husband by suicide 7 years ago, and I know that feeling of being lost in a lot of pain and darkness and weight in my grief. It can feel so incredibly lonely, and maybe you've tried some things to help that just haven't been effective. Maybe you've tried some grief groups or counseling or other resources, books, you've listened to podcasts, but you find that you still feel stuck. You're still relating to your past and your late husband through a relational connection of pain. There's a lot of weight or darkness, or ways that you're having a hard time knowing who you are again or envisioning anything good about your future. Maybe your heart still feels really broken. Grief can impact our mind, our body, our very soul. And there's healing, holistic healing we need on all of those levels. And maybe you just haven't found it yet. All of these things can bring us to a place of hopelessness, because when you are experiencing all of this pain and struggle and you don't know if there's any way out, you don't even know if there's such a thing as a way out, you can come to a place of feeling like, I cannot do this forever, or even, I cannot do this anymore. And sister, it doesn't have to be this way. I want to give you this encouragement and this hope today. Grief is lifelong. It is individual. It is a process, absolutely. But there is a way through. In Psalm 23, when the Lord talks about the valley of the shadow of death, this is a place that a lot of us widows know as a very tangible place that we're walking, a season in our life. Sometimes it feels like there's not a way out, or we're not just passing through the valley of the shadow of death. We've set up camp. We have stopped and we've pitched a tent, and we're trying to figure out how to survive out there in the wilderness. And the Lord says He intends as our shepherd to walk us through. That this valley of shadow of death and grief and loss and darkness and pain and struggle, suffering, isn't the forever place that we're supposed to stay. It is not home. We're passing through. And that is very true in our grief experience. We have to have the hope that we are passing through to something else. There is growth. There is goodness ahead. And He promises that. The Bible also says, I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Our late husband isn't living anymore. So this is talking about our lives as widows and beyond. In our lives here, there is still goodness that God has, and we can be confident of it. We have to be confident of it to really grasp onto Him and move into what He has ahead with openness. So here is the beautiful reality I want to give you. From being a hopeless suicide widow myself to rebuilding a life that I genuinely want again. A beautiful life that I am so thankful for. I could not have even imagined all the possibilities that lay ahead of me. It's true for you too. And here's what I want you to know. There is a path forward, and there are real steps that you can take to get on it and move that direction. You're not just stranded at sea in a hurricane forever. You are not lost in a maze with no way out, and you're not wandering it alone, and you're not stuck in a fog, in a wilderness unable to see. There are people who have gone before. There are tools and resources and ways of finding guidance and support. So let's talk about the 2 things that we can take action on, 2 steps to move forward in our grief healing and recovery with hope. Number 1, Look for the proven tools. I know there are so many things out there. You may search the internet and get on groups and Facebook groups and ask other people, and you'll find in a lot of grief spaces, a lot of people are as lost and broken as you are. It's really important to find grief spaces where there are people who have come to a place of hope, of desiring hope and taking steps forward. You need to be real and honest and raw about your grief. But you also want to find the space that is moving forward into goodness and hope. Otherwise, you're just circling the drain. So connect with those who are your mentors, who are your guides, who disciple you, really, who coach you through on that path ahead because they have walked it experientially. That's the beautiful thing about what I do in coaching. It is not just the certifications and things behind my name. I have walked it ahead. And so I know the path to take people on in helping guide them forward. So looking for proven tools. These can be researched and evidence-based things that are helpful in grief. It's not just anybody's book or podcast or group. There have been proven effective tools, and that's what I encourage you to gravitate toward. There are ways that I have done the work for you, friend. The Grief Recovery Method is the only evidence-based grief recovery program on the planet. It's been around for over 40 years and it is now on 6 continents. I went through it and personally found it so helpful and healing that I became a certified advanced specialist to help lead others through the method. These tools that will help you in these forward steps exist, so you just have to find them. And sometimes, again, by getting connected to guides and coaches, therapists, there are people who have already found the tools and resources that can save you a lot of time and heartache. Number 2, take your next step. You can have all of the tools and resources and opportunities and offers in front of you, but if you do not take the next step, you will continue to wander instead of getting on a path that is moving you forward to hope. Sister, you don't wait until you feel ready. We often are not going to feel ready. We're going to have questions and we're going to have struggles, but healing is the willingness to take the next step forward. Not because you feel ready, because you have all the answers, because you know it's your next step. And that's how we journey in widowhood, one hopeful step at a time. So here are 2 offers that I want to give you as solutions to what I'm sharing here. One of them is the Grief Recovery Method. You can search their website and find those who are certified to bring you through. I am one of those, and I would be happy to include you in one of my groups. If you get connected to me in time, I will be starting my next group this Friday, May 29th of 2026, and there is still a spot for you to join, so reach out to me soon. Another way that I can help you, a more personalized way, is through individual coaching, which I do with Christian widows. The Grief Recovery Method is one of the tools in my tool belt that I can use to walk through with you individually, as well as other proven and effective resources to help you make forward steps in hope, to rebuild a life and identity that you want, not just as a widow, but as a kingdom widow with so much still ahead of you. You can find out more at hopespeaker.com. Sister, you are not alone here. You're not lost. There is a path forward, and there are steps along the way to get you to the goals that you have, and there are people who want to walk alongside you. You don't have to widow alone anymore. Thanks so much for being here. Like and subscribe, and keep joining me on the journey. We'll talk soon.